name is Sarah McGowan-Freege. I'm a Winooski resident. I live up on Mallett's Bay Avenue. And I would just like to make a comment about the replacement of the city pool. I haven't really heard much of an update about that lately, although my concern is I did hear that at the last pool committee meeting, the committee members were told that the pool was being placed behind a few other items that were considered more important and had a higher priority, and that possibly funds that were supposed to be for the pool are going to be spent on something else, which was not really specified. And I just want to stress how important having a community pool is to this city, and I would appreciate maybe it being put on an agenda, an update of where we are with the city pool.
Sure, Ray, I don't know if you want to just to be sure we get primary information from a primary source.
Yep. So first and foremost, the process is moving along. We're hoping by early November to have conceptual images and budget information, rough budget information for a pool replacement. That's been the timeline we've been shooting for, and so we're going to continue on track with that. In terms of the funding piece, there have absolutely been no decisions made, so I'm not sure where that information came from. I'm guessing it was not heard the right way, but we have had no conversations to date about how we might fund a pool. Certainly we're looking at the possibilities of grants and considering bonding and other tools that we might use, but haven't made any decisions there. So in terms of prioritizing that relative to other projects, that has not been an exercise we've gone through. Yeah, we're committed to trying to make a pool work here if it makes sense. And I think once we have a drawing and some budgetary numbers to look at, we will then have some more solid information to kind of move to the next phase. So I'm with you. I definitely understand. I mean, there were almost 100 people at that meeting back in January a year ago. So, so yeah, and one thing too that I had heard, and I just want to clarify, the operating money for the pool, which is what was used to do some of the rec programming this summer, is separate and apart from any funding that would go into the rebuilding of a new pool. That would be a capital project, and that's a different pool of money for us. So if there is a shifting of operational money temporarily to rec pursuits, that doesn't impact the future money to build the pool. So I want to make sure that that's clear, that those are two different pots of money. So yeah, but good question.
So is it on track to open next summer?
I think we'll see based on what we get back in November how much funding we're going to have to pull together and how complicated a building project it will be. So I'd say stay tuned. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, but.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And it's something too globally. We're going to have a discussion later about a potential item that could require some form of financing, for example. We're very aware that we got to keep all of those things in mind as we're looking at these long-term pieces. We have a parking study going on right now as well. We're mindful that those could present a couple long-term funding requirements at one time. So we are very much keeping that in mind. Thank you for the question.